Dearest beloved, divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media. And my intention today, May 28th, this afternoon, this evening, as I hold the Guyana Chronicle and the other newspapers in front of me, I reflecting, saying that release the SOPs, SORS, release the statement of polls, release the statement of recounts, technically, from the judge, the Honorable Chief Justice, the Lowenfield, and to the registrar, as per laws of this country and laws of conscience. Some people really believe, and I know Lowenfield is not working alone, he's getting guidance, just as that lady, Amanda Walter Desir, when I use a certain word, they try to go to court to embarrass me and turn the tide of criticism to me instead of on her, and what Harmon did when he was encouraging civil strife and madness in Region 5 during the recount and the swearing of our new president, His Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, and his government and cabinet. When I made a certain statement how people must protect themselves and others and do not be aggressors, they turned the tide, and the media, unfortunately, amateurish in some cases, unfortunately, and got fooled. The same thing happened here. This man here, Mr. Lowenfield, does not own the Sops or SORS or the SOPS or the statement of polls. He doesn't own the election. And no matter how much he's been prodded or encouraged or being used by people, the fact remains that this is the property of the people of Guyana. And so, I have the article here and I want to read, release the SOPs from the Guyana Chronicle. But friends and families, I just want to, before I do that, I'll do this first as like a part one. So the topic is release the SOPS, SORS, but this first one will not have to do much on that. But we will know this is part one, and part two will actually be the reading of the Guyana Chronicle. So, friends and family, what caused the PNC, a great political party, a powerful, a strong political party? What caused this political entity really to lose the elections? Because they seem somehow or the other to think that they should have won this election, my friends. They seem to think somehow or the other the election was theirs. And this is something I possibly can't understand why they would think so. I'm looking for my chain, somehow or the other. Okay, there it is. Yes, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is in the raw. And so, why would they think they would win an election? Are they bereft of sense, wisdom? Are they bereft of logicality and intellect? Are they? Because for them to think that we the people will vote for them after all they have done to this country, not only the sugar workers with the sugar alone, which indirectly destroy the country, it is as if that party, that APNU, is as if they defecated on the nation. Yes, it is as if APNU defecated on this nation. And the PNC, with a new culture of leaders, moved away from the grand culture created by Hugh Desmond Hoyt and Robert Corbyn. This is cause for worry, my friends, in the family of in the Raw, or case Guyana Free Media. Why would they think? They didn't do anything in the 5 years for their own supporters, but they have a large-scale loyal supporters, most of whom are of a particular ethnicity. That is understood because the PPPC also has that as well. But both sides have a balance following as well. I just got a call. Remember, this is in the Raw. I'm working and doing things. I make these recordings. And how would they expect to win an election? They didn't build no housing schemes. They didn't build any highway. The East Coast Highway was a project of President Ramutar. They didn't open up anything. All they were concentrating about is enhancing their wealth and their riches and their power and destroying decent people businesses, as Harman tried to do to me and many other people as well. Even awarding a contract through cabinet approval, then terminating the contract, giving instruction to Mr. Welch, the then PS of Ministry of Education, to terminate me. Ladies and gentlemen, they were concentrating on cockamamie, what we call cockeyed administration and management, trying to take vengeance instead of trying to win friends and influence people. Before they try to bring a man like me in with them and to show glory, they were trying to destroy me and others, and not realizing I alone carry about 15,000 supporters in this country, friends. If I run for an election, I will take 3 seats. And whichever party I lean to, that party is going to win this election. I'm telling you. Now, how could they expect to win when they had a man who was working with the protesters during the count and during the recount and encouraging madness and stupidity and vulgarities and misbehavior and paying them, having stolen tons and tons of land, acres of land, and selling them out, and gotten lands for other people so he can get the big commission and the big legal fees. And others, the big boss within themselves, had his own thing going on with security company or security companies, with construction company and others, buying and investing and putting things of valuable in people names out and in of Guyana, where they were giving tens of millions of dollars in scholarships to friends and families and their children. And they forgot the ordinary people in Buxton, in Sophia, in Old Boys Town, in Charlestown, in Stanley Town, in Amsterdam and other places. They were only thinking about themselves. How could they win the election? How would they expect if they won by 1 seat because of the 1 seat they won by, because of the thing that is now wiped out called AFC. And the AFC betrayed the people in the upper quarantine. How do you expect those people to vote for them to give them back an extra seat? Or 2. In this case, they would have needed at least 2 seats. So I don't understand why these behavior to hurt the country, to desecrate, to defecate on our nation and our peace, instead of trying to make an impression that they're positive, that they're decent, that they're elegant, and they are worthwhile to work with for consultation, not recognizing the government, but wanting to be recognized. I don't know. Look, my friend Amna Ali, my sister, she hates me. I invited her for my book launch. She refused. She said she's busy doing PNC work, telling me, oh, you have your party. I don't have a political party. I still don't. Maybe I will. Between now and the next elections, God give me the strength and I'm alive. Maybe I will. But I stand for righteousness, Sister Amna and others. So like Chetty Jagan, when he was asked by the British and American journalists, the big boys, are you a communist? I'm no communist. I'm capitalist. Are you a communist? He was forced to answer, and he said, if from the things I say and do that I believe in makes me communist, then I guess I'm a communist. Well, to my friends in the PNC, if from the things I say and do, standing for what is right, and goodwill and righteousness, that makes you think I am in with another party, then maybe I am. Because of my words, I have to stand for what is right. I could not have witnessed election rigging, manipulation, deceit, thievery. They're mad with me because I raised my voice and the voice went international. And Arceus Guyana Free Media was created right there in front of Lowenfield when I screamed that you, Lowenfield, your name will go down in history, in shame and disgrace with this big mouth. And it shook the whole place. All the international observers, the local observers. It shook that place with the power of this voice. Friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. And it went to the White House. All of us were saying, and it went to Europe. It went to China. It went to India. It went to the African, Caribbean, Pacific nations. My voice, the Arceus Guyana Free Media, I received information of high caliber. And so they're blaming me that I caused them to lose the election because I put pressure on them. I caused the pressure on them internationally. So friends and family, I don't know how they would think they could win an election. I don't understand, unless, like Mr. Granger said recently, the Court of Appeal had judged somewhere along for them because there was a manipulation on who would sit as the judge. And when we as laymen listened to what one of the judges was saying, and we realized that two of them were in something in the Court of Appeal, it went to the Caribbean Court of Appeal, and then they were made to look like fools, if you were to ask me. So like he expected the Court of Appeal would have given it, or because he gave this lady in Trinidad, the amazing Prime Minister of Trinidad, I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen, of Barbados. The Prime Minister of Barbados some time ago was given a national award, and they believed that was a bribery. And they expected her to make a decision based on ethnicity on their behalf. So how on earth? Then Rowley went against them. The whole CARICOM went against them. All the 100, 200 countries in the world went against them. So how they expected to win this election? Mr. Granger, you have destroyed your legacy as a military master. You have destroyed yourself. And with it, you're pulling down the People's National Congress and destroying the People's National Congress. The People's National Congress that was built, remodeled, and recultured by Hugh Desmond Hoyt and even Robert Corbyn. Friends and family, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Ocean Khan, how could they have won in this which is release the Sops and the SARS? Or how could the APNU AFC have won the 2020 elections? Your friend, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Ocean Khan, in the raw.